The latest on COVID-19 numbers in the region. The pandemic leads to more local closures. And out of the bad comes some good. All that and more coming up right now. Welcome to Cogeco News for March 19th. I'm James Bowler with what's happening in your community. First off, the Simcoe-Muskoka District Health Unit is currently reporting 5 probable cases of COVID-19 in Muskoka. This means they haven't been confirmed by tests, but the individuals have been exhibiting symptoms of the virus and are asked to self-isolate. Currently, there are no confirmed cases either in Muskoka or Parry Sound. And at this time of the broadcast, no new cases were reported within the Simcoe-Muskoka District Health Unit or the North Bay Parry Sound District Health Unit coverage areas. Earlier today, Mayor Karen Terziano came into the studio to make a statement on the current state of events in Huntsville.
It's Thursday, March 19th. As the Mayor of Huntsville, I would like to attempt to bring our community up to date on where we are with COVID-19 and the next steps. First, thank you to all those working in healthcare in any capacity and those who work as support to healthcare. And thank you to the workers in grocery and pharmacy who are providing essential services. To all non-essential business who have shut their doors, thank you as well. All town-owned facilities are now closed, and as many staff as possible are working from home remotely. We are also serving the community in every way possible. We do expect layoffs, and we are confident that the federal government will address the unemployment needs and other supports for our community. The town's senior staff, in conjunction with myself, continue to work and make necessary decisions. Our decisions are guided by the advice of the medical officers of health and the directions of the federal and provincial government. I've also been in regular contact with Huntsville Council, with the other Muskoka municipal mayors and the district chair, as we all support each other and our communities, and we'll continue to do so. We know this is a challenging and somewhat scary time for residents and business. We must all support each other and assist those who are in need. It is important to provide social support while maintaining social distance. Our sacrifice now will lead to a shorter duration of this crisis. My ask to each of you is to take this seriously, to do your part, and to be responsible. As a community, we will get through the pandemic, and we will face the economic recovery together. I will continue to provide you with regular updates as they become available, and rest assured the town of Huntsville is here for your needs.
The world financial markets have taken a bit of a hit over the COVID-19 crisis. Your TV receives some insight into the volatility from Edward Jones financial advisor Charles Elliott.
Definitely. I mean, what I'm telling them is not to panic. Stay invested. We will get over this. The markets will come back. Make sure your asset allocation is in line, that your risk tolerances are where they should be, that you're not necessarily overexposed or underexposed, and just to stick with it. If you don't need the cash right now and it's a long-term investment, you can ride it out.
But just how long will that ride last? In a related note, both provincial and federal governments have been announcing a lot of emergency funding to try to help Canadians survive this situation.
I think what they're throwing everything they have at it right now. Whether it's enough to make a difference is, we still have to wait and see. I think that the impact of shutting down, like you said, of the world for a period of time is going to have ramifications, and there's only so much fiscal and monetary policy that you can throw at it. But the government needs to keep the economy on lifeline until we get through this. Once we get through this, then we can get back to normal. What that normal is that's what the uncertainty is, because people don't really know how long this is going to last, how severe this is going to be. What are the ramifications? So that's an unknown right now, and that's what makes people nervous and scared and start to panic. So I think we just need to stay calm as much as we can through this.
We are taking a short break. We'll return after this. Welcome back. Amid the concerns over COVID-19, another local business has been forced to shut down.
I had been watching very closely the news, kind of seeing things unfold. And it had been recommended that we keep 6 feet between us and the people that are around us. And in my business, that's impossible. We touch people. We physically are within inches of them. So I knew there was no physical way that I could guarantee that my team and my clients would be safe in this environment because we couldn't distance ourselves. So with that in mind, knowing the amount of trust that people put in me and faith, I just felt that it was my moral obligation to close our doors, unfortunately, and make that decision. And to be honest, it was a tough call to make, but it was a very easy decision to make.
Tell me about the financial and the emotional impacts of this.
Well, when the doors are closed, money doesn't come in. So this will definitely have financial ramifications for myself, definitely for my team. I'm deeply concerned for them and for myself, of course. But I had to consider the well-being of the people that we see every day over that. Health came first. It just has to. The only way we can stop this from becoming worse than it already is for all of us to create this social distancing that everybody's talking about.
How are you feeling now?
I'm sad. I miss my team. I miss my clients, and I am sad. It's been very hard, but I made the right choice.
You think obviously you're going to be ready to bounce back when this...
Absolutely. I believe that Muskoka will bounce back, and I believe the people that have supported us thus far will be back and will support us even more. And the outpouring of support I've had from people, even online clients that have reached out to me, I know they know me well enough to know that it wasn't easy to close up, but they've all told me I did the right thing, and they've backed me. I have no doubt we'll make it through this. Muskoka's resilient, but it's the waiting game that's hard, not being able to work. So.
Earlier this week, it was announced Deerhurst made the unprecedented decision to shut down its year-round resort amid the COVID-19 concerns. I recently had an opportunity to speak with resort GM Jessie Hamilton about that decision.
So we made the decision to close the resort on the 16th, so Monday. We had been monitoring, like everybody is, what's been going on sort of outside of the doors of just Deerhurst. And our hope was that as long as we felt that our guests, our employees, and our community were safe from us being open, we would continue to do that. Our numbers were climbing, which maybe was a bit surprising. The numbers of people visiting us was seeming to grow. And the decision just came down to us feeling like the environment that we might be creating was becoming one that should have been concerning. So the decision was made to close.
So tell me about the spin-offs of this, the losses, financially and employment-wise.
Yeah, I think, there are so many industries that are going to be hit hard by this. Our industry is one of them that feels it immediately. I think being hopeful and remaining hopeful is really important. So talking about losses, I don't think we can do that yet, because as quickly as we hope this thing will turn around, we'll turn the building back on, turn the lights back on, and invite all of our employees and our guests back again. So we're doing our best to mitigate all of those losses. And I hope that we figure this thing out as a global community and the resort can open up again.
How many employees are being laid off right now?
So we're close to 200 of our employees, including part-time and full-time employees, were laid off on Tuesday.
Okay, and the hope is to hire all these people back again, I'm sure.
Every single one of them, and normally our staffing levels will triple by the time July gets here, and I think that's what's going to happen.
And a bit of good news that, because out of the bad news of having to shut down the restaurant, you guys had quite a bit of food. You made a great donation, so tell me about that.
Yeah, we did. So our plan is to continuously communicate with our employees, even though they're not here working with us right now. We're doing that twice a week at a minimum, helping them to navigate what's going on. The first thing that we did was actually invite them all back to the resort because, of course, we had quite a bit of food that needed to find a place to exist and something to do with in our community that could make things maybe feel a little bit better. So we invited all of our hosts back again to sort of shop for free with all of the food that was perishable and even some stuff that obviously wasn't, that could go to good use, and the rest of that went to the local food bank here in Huntsville.
Fantastic. Yeah. Anything else you want to say on this closure and hopeful for the future?
I don't think there's much else to say. I mean, we recognize how an important part of our community Deerhurst is, and how much we all work together. And we're just looking forward to a time when the lights are turned back on, and we're inviting people from all over the world back to Deerhurst, back to Huntsville, and back to Muskoka.
We're back to the break, but when we come back, we're switching gears. We're going to take a look at some of the good coming out of the bad. Welcome back. Gravenhurst Against Poverty wants to make sure the most vulnerable community members are still getting the meals they need most.
People who are living in difficulty continue to do so, and so we are continuing to try to meet those needs by providing meals as we have been all along. On Tuesdays, our lunch is from 12 till 1, and on Thursdays, our supper club and our fresh food giveaway. So during these times, we've had to make adjustments so that we can maintain social distancing. We have decided to serve our meals as take-home meals outside here in the parking lot at Trinity United Church. So we did so on Tuesday. We had about 20 people that came, and their lunches were bagged, and they were able to take them away. And also, the leftover food was taken to a building where people are on fixed income. Seniors who are on fixed income receive those leftover meals. So tonight, between 4 and 6, we hope that we will be able to give a fresh food giveaway as usual, but it will be over a period of time instead of everyone gathered together. So we're going to try to maintain social distance. The food will be laid out outside here, and the same with the take-home dinner. I want to give a shout out to Arvin from Swiss Chalet, who has continued to provide soup at lunchtime, and Lior is also providing fresh food tonight along with the GAP budget as well. We're hoping that people who are living in most difficulty feel supported, and we have received some responses on Facebook showing appreciation, that they're so happy that the meals are still there, that the food is there that they can pick up.
Well, stick with us for some more feel-good stories after this. Welcome back. A Huntsville restaurant is turning a difficult situation into a positive experience for community members.
So Ryan and Christina, I've worked for them ever since the local opened, and they're super passionate, obviously, with the local branding. That really captures their heart, being community-minded, local-minded, and so there's just a lot of food at the restaurant that would have otherwise perished and gone bad. And instead of just trying to sell it off or remain open or anything like that, they thought it was best to try and give back to the community. And so today, anything that was perishable in the restaurant, Ryan and Christina had us come in and get all set up, and we had people come today and were able to pick up bags for themselves, families. We had people from various community organizations donations that came and picked up for people that are stuck at home or can't come out because of autoimmune disorders or age or anything like that. So yeah, that's basically what we were doing today. Yeah, I think it's really cool to just see Huntsville being a place where you're not seeing people panic as much or be self-focused, but community-minded, even when we can't be out locally in community and congregating together. So that was cool.
Well, a lot of these food donations have gone to the Table Soup Foundation, which definitely needs it to keep up with the local need.
A couple of things that have been a little different starting this week is that we're not accepting anything for our exchange store upstairs. So that's closed until further notice, just because we don't have the volunteer capacity, and then it's bringing things in from other people's homes. So we're just asking that people hold off bringing in donations until later. And then another thing, anything that goes out, say we pack a box and we've met our guest outside, because our guests are coming to the side door, picking one of 3 pre-made boxes. We're doing the shopping and we're meeting them at the other door. But if they brought their own bags, which is ideal, then we're bringing that box back in but setting it aside for 48 hours. And that's how we're doing it. And if somebody has donated food, same thing. We're setting it aside for the allotted time, just for preventative measures.
We had 107 boxes. We filled them with boxes today, which is unusual. Usually people can come in here and pick their own items, and it was 75 people that came through. We saw a pretty good increase of people that haven't come in several months, 6 months, and all of a sudden they're here today. So I think with what's been happening, it's affecting them. I would say pretty well everybody was so grateful we were still open and able to implement a safe environment for them to get their food today.
We don't have any shortages. We have our standard things. We haven't felt, even though we're not getting the donations that we normally do, we haven't felt that yet. But I think if it goes on, that might be something that, and as Heather has just said today, we're still accepting monetary donations, so that's great. We have a little slot in our front door that even if we're not open, you can pop in and do that, and that's very helpful because then we can put it towards something that we need.
I want to say a massive thank you to our food bank manager, Barb Stronach, and then all of our volunteers. On Monday, yesterday, when we were typically going to be sorting donations and stocking shelves, I really had no idea how many volunteers would come, and everybody came. Everybody has been just so happy to be hands on deck. So I just want to say a huge thanks to our amazing volunteers.
We're taking our last break, but when we come back, a look at what one local woman is doing to help bring some more positivity into people's lives. Now, amid all the fear and worry, one local woman is trying to help keep nerves calm by offering free online yoga classes.
I'm really excited to be bringing this to you today. Danielle says, hi friend, hi Danielle, thanks for coming on. As I said before, the replay will be made available. Hey Lori, thanks for hopping on. For those of you not familiar, you haven't been to many of my classes before, I am primarily a beginner yoga teacher in that I teach beginners, not that I'm a beginner myself, otherwise I wouldn't be here.
So in light of everything that's going on with the coronavirus, I obviously had to cancel all of my one-on-one clients for the foreseeable future. And so I had recently started a online membership program in which I was offering yoga online once a month, but I definitely saw that with the current situation and everyone spending so much time indoors and a lot of, or most gyms, I think all gyms are closed. A lot of people who I would connect with at public classes were expressing to me that they weren't able to practice yoga and that following YouTube videos just wasn't really cutting it for them. And so I decided to offer up my monthly yoga practice that takes place in the membership to the general public, just as a means of allowing people that hour to really connect with themselves, move their bodies, and feel as though they're getting that one-on-one human connection without having to necessarily go outside or come to my studio and see me.
If you can't do something, that's totally okay. Feel free to opt for like child's pose or downward facing dog if you need.
So my approach is always to make sure that I'm offering modifications throughout the course of the class. And so demonstrating for people with objects that they would have in their own home. So for example, I hosted a class yesterday and I made sure to have a blanket and a pillow nearby because presumably those are things that most people keep in their houses. And so offering them ways in which they can use those tools throughout the practice to maybe make postures that might not be so comfortable for them, especially if they're not someone who practices yoga regularly, to make that accessible for them.
If you struggle with balance, you can feel free to release that little right big toe to the floor.
Kind of nice to be able to afford people that break to really just think about something like their body and how they're feeling and maybe the emotions, give them a chance to process those in a way that's perhaps different from what they would be experiencing the other 23 hours of the day sitting in their houses.
I love you all so much. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.
And that's Cogeco News. For more information on the program, head over to yourtv.tv or connect with us on social media by searching Your TV Muskoka. Remember to catch us next week live at 5, Monday to Thursday. And from everyone here at Cogeco News, thanks for watching. Stay well.